Well, a quick turnaround, and Camden County and SUNY-Orange will play game number 2 right now. We've got an 8-1 final from game 1, and we're now going to turn that around, maybe with like a 20-minute turnaround to game 2. Definitely not something I saw coming, but because of the light, they've probably just got about an hour and a half to play. So, with that being said, we'll see what they can do. You know, if the pace of game 1 is a standard, I don't think they're going to get a full 7 innings in, but as long as they get 5, it counts as an official game. So even if they have to call the game to darkness, because this field does not have lights, that would still be a plus for them. Camden County College will play their next game on Saturday the 23rd in a doubleheader versus Monroe College of the Bronx. Your lineup in game 2 for the SUNY-Orange Colts will begin with Dawn Grover, who takes a strike. It'll be Grover, Olivo, and Catleti, the same 3 that we saw in game 1, but the main difference being that Catleti is now at first base. Lindsey Keene has moved from first base to catcher. Ramos moves from catcher to the DH. The pitcher will be number 4, Molly Martin, who was the DH last time. Madeline Brennan at second base. Julia Sorrentino in left. And in the 9 spot, at third base again, is Nicole Imhoff. 1-1. Inside, almost got a piece of her. The pitcher in game 2 for Camden County is going to be Alexis Cobb. Much of the changes are still the same. Maldonado is in left field. Collins moved from behind the plate to now at shortstop. But it's a 3-1 count to Dawn Grover to start game 2. There's a ground ball sharply back up the middle. That's a base hit. Getting down on one knee and getting it is Olsen. Amanda Ober. Ober picks that one up, and it's a base hit for Grover. A bunt for Olivo. Here comes the throw down to second. Couldn't get it. Collins picks it up. And in a cloud of smoke, Grover goes down to second. Balls, no strikes. Cobb trying to find a groove. There's a rocket into left field. That's a base hit. That will roll out to the warning track and off the Camden County sign. Rounding second and going for third. Getting in there with a triple.
Ooh.
No, she's out. A double that got a little too greedy. It's an RBI for Olivo. And it's 1-0 Colts, but now the bases are wiped clean with an RBI double, with the runner being out, extending their lead to third. Gianna Catleti, who sends a fly ball out to center field, and it will one hop off the wall. Picked up and getting to second base. Sliding is Catleti. She gets in there with a double. Probably the closest we've seen to a homer tonight. Just a couple feet shy of the wall. Letty brings some more life to the SUNY-Orange offense. In a 1-0 game, all three batters have reached base. As now here's Lindsey Klein.
What?
I apologize, Lindsey Keene. Oh, nice pitch there. Swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Pitch. Skips in. SUNY-Orange has taken a couple aggressive leads tonight off the bases. One and two. There's a grounder trapped at first. Taking it to the bag herself. Letty advances to third. But Keene is retired on a 3 unassisted. Here is the lefty Ramos, who has moved from behind the dish in game 1 to now as the DP, game 2. The count to Ramos with a runner on third. SUNY-Orange wasting no time getting the bats hot in a 1-0 game. This one is tapped foul, went through Ramos. Just missed inside. 1 and 2. If the inning were to continue for the Colts, it would be Molly Martin, the pitcher, to bat next. Ground ball. That one is going to be stopped at second base. Throw to first. It's going to be late, and that's going to be an infield single. So an RBI that never left the dirt for Ramos makes it 2-0 Colts. Scoring on that play was Letty.
Oh!
There's a fly ball out to deep left field, and it is going to drop foul. Misses out. 1-1. Good breaking ball, just missed. As we said, sunset is set to be 7:12. That would give us about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour 20 if you're lucky. Here comes the throw down to second. That ball goes between both infielders, goes into center fielder, over has it. It's a 3-1 count. Now moving down to second is Ramos. 3-1 count. 2 outs. SUNY-Orange already up to a multi-run lead here. Good pitch, but just missed. now to the 7th batter in this inning. Madeline Brennan, now the second baseman in game 2. First pitch skips in. Both runners are going to move. Throw down to third. A diving stop prevents that ball from going into the outfield. These guys are going to probably have to go over and practice, those infield throws. Part of it is just a philosophy. That was actually counted as a swing and miss, not a foul tip. That's 1-1. Outside. 2-1. SUNY-Orange with 2 runners in scoring position here with 2 outs, a chance to blow this game wide open if they can string a couple more hits together, and it would already be the first inning. The double headers, they are the standard in college softball. So part of what makes a team strong is their ability to be consistent and be strong through all 14 innings that they play. That one misses high from Cobb. Second consecutive walk she has surrendered in this inning, and that loads the bases. Ramos to third, Martin to second, and Brennan to first. Now bringing up Julia Sorrentino as pitching coach coming out here to talk with her gal, Alexis Cobb. For the remainder of the order, SUNY-Orange has Julia Sorrentino at the plate. They'll have the third baseman, Nicole Imhoff, batting 9th, and Caroline Farrell will be the left fielder and flex player for game 2. But like we said, consistency throughout both games is incredibly important, and your stamina plays a big part in that, especially considering that a lot of the people in this infield and outfield, that
dead ball. Okay.
called a foul ball. Again, good communication from behind the plate. Called it dead. Took care of the situation easily. It just looked like she kind of drilled it into the ground. It's 0-1 to Sorrentino, the 8th hitter of this inning, as there's a swing and a miss now coming to the plate. The throw couldn't gather it in time, and the wild pitch scores SUNY's 3rd run, and it's 3-0 Colts. So Ramos came home, Martin to second. Brennan to third. It's an 0-2 count with 2 outs and 2 on. 3 runs surrendered in this frame as that ball skips in. 1-0. Again, you're kind of playing it out here where I think both coaches know. We talked to Coach Chip for Camden County a couple minutes before the game started, and he said we're worried about light. First pitch was scheduled for 5:30, but game 1 ran a little long in length. That one misses inside, trapped behind the plate. It's 2-2. But again, it's time management. Got to make sure that you have the resources to play all 14 innings without just completely collapsing. And if you don't have those, if you don't have the stamina, Camden County College has maybe 11 people on their roster. You have to do a lot more with a lot less, just in terms of numbers. Camden County is a very talented team. put it all together and make it happen. They have worked the count full to 3-2 and a swing and a miss. Alexis Cobb with her first strikeout of the evening. 3-run score for the Colts. Now Camden County with their first chance for a rebuttal in the bottom half of the first. Bottom of the first. As we'll get it started for Camden County. They gave up 3 runs in the opening frame, and 8 batters came to the plate. Starting it off with the same leadoff hitter as we had in game 1, that being Amanda Ober. Pitch outside from SUNY-Orange's pitcher this afternoon, Molly Martin. Defensive lineup looking a little bit different, but still the same players on the field. Lindsey Keene behind the plate. First base was game 1's pitcher who threw all 7 innings, Gianna Catletti. Second, Madeline Brennan. Shortstop the same as game 1, that being Gabriella Olivo. Third base, also the same, Nicole Imhoff. There's a ground ball, snagged at third. Nice play across the diamond in time. Nicole Imhoff with a snag at third with a quick reaction time. And that's the first out of the first. Got a couple of web gems this afternoon. The number 2 hole hitter, being Isaiah Boyle, who has switched places with Collins on the diamond in game 2. Collins caught game 1. She's now the shortstop for game 2. And now the vice versa is true for Boyle. She was the shortstop. Now she's behind the plate for the second half of this doubleheader. That one is popped up. Shallow left. 3 girls going out for it, and it's caught by Olivo. SUNY-Orange's infield having a field day in this second game. There's 2 away. So here's Collins. Hot shot out to short again. Another nice play on that left side of the infield. And the first baseman, Catletti, keeps her foot on the bag to retire the side. SUNY-Orange takes quick care of Camden. We'll be right back. 3-0 Colts. Top of the second. Here between SUNY-Orange and Camden County. A 3-0 lead. As they're going to get this party started.
Scoreboard. It's remembering last game, I think, or maybe one.
In the first, 8 batters came up to the plate. The only one that did not is Nicole Imhoff, who had that great play at third to start the bottom half of the frame, as Cobb's first pitch is a strike, 0-1. All commercials that you see on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting are produced, edited, filmed, and recorded by yours truly, Dan Wilkins. If you're a small business owner in the area who would like to make a sponsorship deal with us, or would like to contribute to our advertising, there's a bunt. Oh, nice play. Great reach at first by Maldonado. Rather by Ketchermeister. That'll be the first out. And as we were saying, though, if you're a small business owner interested in joining the advertising game, send us an email at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. All of our social media handles, including our Venmo, is listed in the description of this YouTube video. Ground ball. Oh, look at this play. Nice rebound. Talk about a great recovery. These two have been just an absolute dynamic duo for this entire inning, as Felicia Katchenmeister makes another great play in what is going to be called a 3-4 putout against Grover. That'll be the second out. That one misses 1-0. So 2 quick outs, as maybe the first inning jitters are starting to go away, as here's a pop-up. That's foul. 1-1. Rate start for as low as $250 for 6 months. Again, just send us an email at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. Rocket out to left. That one's going to drop in front of Maldonado, who boots it, but recovers. Now the ball is in the infield. Nobody knows where it's going. The throw to second is not in time. And that's going to be a single E7. As Olivo, for the second time today, gets to second base in an unusual way. So 2 quick outs and then a single E7. Brings up Catelli, who sends it to center. Ober couldn't get there. Dove again. Scoring is Olivo. A very frustrated Ober allows a run. It's 4-0. So an RBI single for Catelli, or Catalelli, excuse me. Her second double already. And here's Lindsay Key. First pitch misses, 1-0. SUNY-Orange out to a strong lead already, 4-0 here in game 2. Skips in, and now she had such a good run going, and now that things have started to unravel a little bit, she just doesn't have that same confidence, which is unfortunate. You know, she's a good pitcher. She's got to hit her marks, and you got to remember there's a lot of game left. You know, a 4-0 lead now doesn't really mean anything as you go down the line. Line drive caught at third, inning over. Nice play down there to end the frame. SUNY-Orange gets another run on the board thanks to an RBI double by Giovanna Olivo. We'll be right back. 4-0, SUNY-Orange. Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. Bottom of the second inning, SUNY-Orange leads 4-0. This broadcast is brought to you by Garden State Pet Center. Keep your pet happy and healthy today with the most organic products available, including food, but not only food. There's also toys, food, cages, accessories, and more. Visit today, 7 days a week at 612 Southwest First Pike in Audubon. Or visit online anytime at exoticpetsnj.com. After a quick 1-2-3 frame in the first, we now bring it to the cleanup gal for Camden County. Swings and misses twice. It's 0-2. For Victoria Delario, playing third base in this game too. She has played third base in both games. Had the lone RBI for Camden County in the first half of this doubleheader. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball outside by Martin. Her first strikeout of the day. There's one away. So here is Maggie Ralston. That one is outside. Ralston, the pitcher who went all 7 in game 1, now moving to first base in the second half of this doubleheader. Thought about it, but held up. And it's 1-0. Or excuse me, 2-0. Yeah, there we go. Thought I had it right on my count. Oh. Here's a fly ball, shallow, but caught. Here's Julia Maldonado. Just a hair outside. And just a touch high. 2-0. I think Camden County, they've realized that swinging aggressively hasn't been their best friend. Not just in game 1, but in the partial portions of game 2 that we've seen so far. There's a strike right down Broadway, 2-1. So I think what's important for them is be patient. Take the first couple of pitches, see what it's got. Because the more you can work up the pitch count, the more you can kind of get in their head a little bit. You know, what we're playing in baseball and softball is mind games. There's a base hit in the left. First hit for Camden County today. That ball skips off of the left fielder. Now going to second and barely getting in there in time is Maldonado, who will reach on a single E7 in front of an elated crowd. So Maldonado puts Camden County in scoring position. For Felicia Ketchmeister. Oh, in the center field, that's going to be a base hit. Maldonado moves to third, doesn't go any further. And a 2-out rally for Camden County puts them in business with 2 away. So back-to-back singles now brings up the number 8 hitter. Giselle Smith. The freshman out of Camden City. 0-1. Thought about it, but didn't go. I'm going to miss 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a swing and a miss. Inning over. Camden County leaves 2 runners on, and a big chance for their offense goes blank after 2, 4-0 Colts. Top of the 3rd inning. SUNY-Orange has plated 4 runs in the first 2 frames, had 3 in the first, 1 in the second. Kind of settling down a little bit for Alexis Cobb. As 5 batters came to the plate in the second, 8 grabbed a bat in the first. Now we go straight to the middle of the order with 5, 6, and 7, starting with Ramos. It'll be Ramos, the pitcher Martin, and Brennan. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. Don't forget our next broadcast will be Friday, March 22nd, as high school baseball gets underway with a scrimmage from way yonder, New Jersey. It's the Enfield Eagles of Southern Connecticut squaring off against the Audubon Green Wave in their first scrimmage of the year. The day after they play West Springfield, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, we will not be there as Camden County will be playing Bergen Community College, a game that we will be covering. Here's a ground ball tapper out to second, through to first, barely in time, one away. It'll be a 4-3 ground out. You know, as we were talking about in game one, part of the reason why offense is more prevalent in softball than it is in baseball isn't just because of the distances with the fence. It's also the distances on the bases. There's a little floater out to left that's found. You know, you got to remember, as an infielder, you have a shorter amount of time to get the runner out at first. So if she's speedy, you know, if she's fast, then you're going to have a harder time. You know, you could just chop it into the infield and be basically guaranteed a hit. Because you got to pick it up, you got to throw it to first. It's not easy. You know, when you've got to go 90 feet in baseball and then 60 feet in softball, it's a shorter distance. And that favors, you know, unless it's a line drive right at them and you've got, you know, superhuman reflexes, it favors the offense. It favors the batter. Meanwhile, it kind of favors the defense in baseball, where if you hit it into the infield, as long as it's not a tough play, you know, if you're not busting it out of the box, you're going to be out. Here's a fly ball deep out towards left, and it is a foul ball. Man, there's just been so many hits today that have felt like that they just have infinite carrying ability. You feel like they have a chance to go out, and it just falls short. There's a fly ball out towards right. Oh, wow. It got caught at second base. I lost track of the ball, but it's caught by Keschmeister, and it's 2 away. So Martin is retired, and here is Brennan. On Sunday, March 24th, we'll have a doubleheader of softball between Northampton and Salem down at Pennsville Little League. And after that, March 26th, Lenape and Audubon square off in their second of 3 scrimmages. Actually, it's going to be 4 scrimmages for Audubon. They've got Enfield, West Springfield, both out-of-state teams. They're all being played in Audubon, and then Lenape plays at Audubon for their 3rd scrimmage. Audubon visits Triton for scrimmage number 4. Ground ball out to short, picked up. Collins throw to first in time. 1-2-3 frame for Cobb. He's just been incrementally getting better and better. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, 4-0 SUNY-Orange. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned, full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
SUNY-Orange out to a 4-run lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Here at the Camden County College, this is called Cougar Country, Cougar Corner. Really nice facilities here at Camden County. We've been here a couple times for baseball and softball. There's a ground ball out to second. Throw to first is in time. And Cobb is retired, and that will turn the lineup over back to the top. One away. Like we said, they were concerned about lighting. The clouds have now fully encompassed the campus, and it's definitely going to be a race against the clock. Sunset is 7:12, so they'll have just under 50 minutes before sunset. But again, sunset doesn't really define when you can stop playing. It can be a couple minutes after, it can be a couple minutes before. That's a nice sleeping catch there by Molly Martin, embraced by her infielders. 2 down. And that might be why these guys are swinging at the first pitch. That might be the best chance that they get if they want to get all 7 innings in. Now, I believe that in collegiate softball, as long as the game is, if it's anything like high school baseball or high school softball, in a 7-inning game, as long as 5 of the innings are complete, it is a complete and official game. I may be wrong on that, but I would imagine with how quickly we've been going along so far, that, I mean, you could see the pitcher's working fast, everybody's working fast. They're giving themselves more opportunities because obviously SUNY-Orange wants to hit more, Camden County wants to hit more. Everybody wants to get those reps, especially for Camden County because this is their first doubleheader of the season, their first 2-game set, which is going to make it so that you have a lot of those opportunities right at your window. You just need to do it because Camden County doesn't play their next game until Saturday. They're going to have a couple days off. They're going to look over the footage and they're going to see what they could do. Now it's popped up at first, caught by SUNY-Orange, and the side is retired. 3 frames through, 4 more to play. We'll see how far we get. 4-0, Orange County. Top of the 4th, Cobb still working with a 4-run game in favor of the Colts. It'll be 8-9-1 for SUNY-Orange, who would improve to 5-3 if they sweep this doubleheader. It is Julia Sorrentino, Nicole Imhoff, the third baseman, and the center fielder, Dawn Grover, who are hitting for the Colts in this frame. 0-1. This one's hit well, but playable in left. Oh, that one just dropped out of the glove. Now going to second, going to make the tag, diving, but in there with what's going to be a 2-base error against Camden County, against Maldonado. Actually, that would be Stafford. So Stafford, the new left fielder, commits the error, and that will be an E7. Now bringing up Imhoff. Imhoff grounded out back to the mound. In her first at-bat, 4-0 SUNY-Orange in the top half of the fourth inning. Strike one. The weekend of April 19th to the 21st will be one of the most packed in South Jersey as Dan Wilkins Broadcasting brings you the Thank You Classic. We'll start our festivities off on Friday with Haddon Township and Timber Creek, to be followed up on Saturday with a quadruple header. 9 a.m. Gloucester and King's Christian, 11:30 a.m. Red Bank Catholic and Gloucester Catholic, 2 p.m. St. Peter's Prep and Cherokee, and a 7 o'clock nightcap at Belmar Rec, that being Delsey versus Notre Dame. Sunday we'll have 2 more games of the North Jersey variety right here in Brooklawn. It's Toms River East versus Bayonne at 2, and Pope John versus Donovan Catholic at 4:30. Whole bunch more games are being played across multiple locations. A couple games at Walt Nikorsky in Pennsauken, at the King's Christian Field. A couple of games over at Belmar Rec. A good slate no matter what. About 15 games being played all told, as there's a line drive in the right center field. That's going to drop for an extra base hit. Rounding third and coming in is going to be Julia, and it's going to be 5-0. Sorrentino scores on the double by Imhoff, and it's 5-0 Colts. So it really didn't take much time for that offensive production to spark. Now the outfield playing slightly deeper here, as here's a ground ball hit sharply. Runner caught between second and third. Throw to first is in time. Wait a second. There's confusion in the infield. The runner on first is out. The umpire is saying the runner on first was called out. And that confusion allowed Imhoff to move to third. So Imhoff gets to third. Grover is retired on the 6-3. And now here is Olivo at the first RBI of the game in the first. SUNY-Orange has put up at least 1 run in every inning. 3 in the first. 1 in the second. Did not get anything in the third, I apologize, but they have put up a fourth run on an extra base hit tonight. Tried to get the breaking ball to stick, but that's now 3-0. Ball 4 pitch walk. Runners on the corners now. As a mound visit will commence here. For Cataletti. Cataletti has had 2 doubles and as many at-bats. She's riding high, 2 for 2. I mean, if they can, where the pace is right now, it's 6:32. They could probably make it to the 5th. There's a line drive to left, kicks off of the foot of Maldonado. 1 run scores. That's going to be Imhoff. Olivo goes to third, and an RBI single keeps the party alive. For sorry, keep butchering this name, Cataletti. And now here's Lindsey Keene. So Imhoff scored on that RBI single, and that one misses outside. 1-0. Of course, you won't want to miss the Audubon Ralph Shaw Classic, the weekend of April 6th and 7th. Bishop Eustace and Kingsway kicks things off on that Saturday to be followed up with Sidiments and an Audubon, with the consolation and the final being on Sunday, April 7th. We've got a couple of tournaments this year that we're covering. One of them being the Joe Lang Classic in Pittman. That's April 27th. That first game is going to be Pennsauken and Pittman. Now, they have two games going on at the same time. One, though, is over at Joe Lang Field, which is the Pittman High School field where the JV kids play, where the varsity kids play at Alcyon Park, is where we will be for both games. So the finals are held there. The finals are held at Alcyon, and the consolation third place game would be at Joe Lang Field. But that's one of my favorite venues in all of South Jersey, probably in all of New Jersey, really. It's not overly prepped, it's not overly hyped up. It's a baseball field with very nice light fixtures and a very old school feel to it. You know, that property in Pittman, where Alcyon Park is, used to hold the Alcyon Speedway, which was a half-mile dirt short track that ran in the 1940s and 50s in the very early days of stock car racing. We're going to have a pinch hitter at the dish. For SUNY-Orange. That is going to be Michaela Mason. That one is foul. 0-1. So yeah, before they turned that into the park and the baseball field that it is today, and the entire complex of baseball and softball fields, it was a racetrack that in its very early days hosted NASCAR races. A wild pitch scores Olivo, and it is 7-0. Kind of a fun fact about what we do is that pretty much all of the Dan Wilkins Broadcasting fonts that we use are actually inspired from NASCAR. There's a ground ball. Collins throws it to first. Gets one. Throw to third. They got them both. A very rare 6-3-5 double play brings the Colts rally to a halt. 7-0 going to the bottom of the fourth. SUNY-Orange up by a touchdown as it's 7-0 in favor of the Colts. Seven folks grab the bat in the top of the fourth. Camden County has had 2 out of their 3 frames go in order. 1, 2, 3. As the first pitch to Collins misses away. As we said, no broadcasts tomorrow or Thursday. We were supposed to be here for Camden County versus Dutchess Community College, but that was postponed to next Tuesday, the 26th. That's going to be base hit. Collins picks up an infield single. And here is Delario. There is a pitcher warming up in the bullpen for Camden County. Line drive in between third and short. It's trapped. They're not going to get either out. And both runners are safe. So Delario gets a base hit. For each batter, that's their first. And now here's Ralston. I heard somebody, when we were just mingling around and hanging out in between games 1 and 2, one of the things that was said was to somebody, they said, hey, you're going to pitch a little bit. I mean, the common philosophy in softball is that the pitcher goes the whole way. Here's a ground ball to third. That gets trapped.
They're loaded.
And that is going to load the bases just like that. A couple of nice hops. And that brings everything to a halt for SUNY-Orange. Collins on third, Delario on second, Ralston on first after 3 singles in a row. Now for Julia Maldonado to start the offensive surge for the Cougars if they can get the ball rolling. Whew, just tad inside. 2-0. There's a strike. Throw down the third. Tried to throw behind the runner, but it didn't work. Two balls, 1 strike. 2-2. Bases loaded, nobody out. The biggest spot yet for Camden County. One misses. Just above the letters, and it's 3-2. For Julia Maldonado with Cashmeister on deck. And Molly Martin in a bit of a jam here in the middle innings of this second game. Swing and a miss. A big strikeout for Molly Martin. Her third of the game. There's one away for Cashmeister. It'll be Cashmeister and then Smith to be followed by Cobb. I mean, if you're SUNY-Orange right now, the best thing that can happen to you is that the bottom of the order is coming up. Not to knock anything against the batters, but it will be a lot more difficult for Martin to get out of the jam if it were the other way around. Here comes a ground ball out to second base. Collins scores on the 4-3 RBI ground out, and there's 2 away for Giselle Smith. That play moved Ralston to second and Delario to third. Strike one. Strike two. Swing and a miss. Camden County gets one run up, but leaves two on. We go to the fifth. Looks like we've got time for at least another inning. It's 8-1. Well, the umpires and Coach Chip are talking it over, and even I am starting to have a little bit of trouble, but it's 6:47. If they can at least finish this inning, and that includes the top and the bottom half, that will probably signal the end of tonight's festivities. There's a bunt foul. For SUNY-Orange in the top of the fifth, it's going to be Martin, Brennan, and then the number 8 hitter, Julia Sorrentino. 0-1. Popped up, back behind the plate, going over and making the catch. It's going to be Boyle, one away. So here's Brennan, 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out to her name. Fastball, swing and a miss. Down 1-1. This broadcast is brought to you by the fine folks at Tommy D's Home Improvement. Make your dream kitchen come true today with wholesale kitchen cabinets and countertops at heavily discounted rates. Visit today at 612 Creek Road in Belmar or next to the 42 on-ramp. I mean, no offense to the players on the field, but I cannot wait to pack up the equipment, get in the car, crank up the heat. Your truck is like working AC and heat, right?
Yep.
So you'll be fine. I'll be fine too. I've got heated seats too, so I've got a one-up on you. Ground ball foul. Quick call there at home plate.
Oh yeah, I got cloth seats. They didn't.
Was it?
They had cloth seats. They didn't give heated seats for me.
Yeah.
I
Well,
had
your
the-
truck's like an 05.
If you had the leather seats option, you would get it.
In a 2005 truck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But because you had cloth seats,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't get. Wow, that's.
I don't understand it. It makes no sense.
I thought my seats were cloth in my car. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, they are. That's what I said. I don't know why they didn't.
I thought mine was cloth. I know they're not leather.
That's a question for Nissan, folks.
I forgot you have a Nissan truck.
That's a question for Nissan.
I mean, those foreign trucks, like the Nissans, the Toyotas. I'm trying to think. They've got like Mitsubishi trucks too, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know in this country too much, but
Probably not much in the USA. Swing and a miss. 2 down. Strikeout number 2 for Alexis Cobb, her first since the first inning. That ended the 8-batter rally with a strikeout of Sorrentino. And now here is Sorrentino, who fouls it back. 0-1. Like I said, every minute, like, it doesn't really look the part on camera because the camera adjusts the lighting if we're in a low lighting situation. But I would say the street lights have turned on. The headlights on the cars passing by now have the lights on. It's become a little harder to see. The best way I can describe it is if we take the shutter speed on the camera and tone it down. That would be the best way I can describe it. Like if we turn it down 2 notches to a 1 in 750, a 1 in 750 is usually very, very similar to what the actual lighting is. So you can see it almost looks like a night game at this point. Now we usually run on 1/250 for our camera setting, so it's a little bit lighter for the viewers at home. But what you're seeing on the screen is definitely lighter than what we see outside. That's the best way I can describe it just by using our camera equipment. But it's 1-2 with 2 outs, nobody on, and no runs across for SUNY-Orange in an 8-1 game. I'm sorry, 7-1 game. Okay. Swing and a miss. Side is retired. Strikeout number 3 for Cobb. We'll see how long they can make this last. 7-1. Bottom of the 5th. I don't want to be the person to foreshadow, but this could very well be the last frame of the game, as it's 7-1 in favor of SUNY-Orange, and the first pitch is fouled back. Off the bat of Alexis Cobb. She's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. In her lone appearance so far, it'll be 9-1 and 2. Cobb, Ober, and Boyle. Swing. Now that's hefty hack there, and it's 0 and 2. Yeah, I don't think, just looking at what we have left of daylight, that's a much better representation of what we see. Is that kind of lighting, because as we zoom in, it adjusts the lighting so that the viewers can see a little more. But especially, I think what also helps a little bit is that it's a neon green ball. In baseball by now, I think the game would have most certainly been called. But with the concern over light looming, this is the same issue that Wrigley Field had before 1988. People forget that, Chicago Cubs home stadium, Wrigley Field, did not have did not have any lights at their field until 1988. So all of their games, weekday or weekend, were played during the day. Ground ball out to second base, throw to first in time, 1 away. Like I said, to my knowledge, I think that after this inning, the game is official. So you need to complete the 5th inning, and then you can just, I guess you could say, you can take care of the job. First pitch, just a hair outside, 1 out. Count. A fly ball, shallow right, and it's caught at second base. 2 down. Here's Isabella Boyle. 0 for 2. Popped out to the shortstop and had a 3 unassisted in her last at bat. If you're still with us, 7-1 Orange County in the bottom of the 5th inning, and if you're just joining us, well, you might be catching the tail end of this one. Not due to a mercy rule, but due to lighting. We'll see how much longer they can play. A shallow fly ball that lands foul. 0-1. Don't forget, our next broadcast will be on Friday, March 22nd, between the Enfield Eagles of Connecticut and the Audubon Green Wave. Their first scrimmage of the 2024 season and the debut of Audubon's brand new yellow uniform. It's going to be fun. Start time for that 4 o'clock. Broadcast starts at 3:50. Outside. 1-1. Foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on, as a ground out and a pop out have made this inning pretty uneventful, but 7-1 in favor of SUNY-Orange. SUNY-Orange goes down to Salem County for a doubleheader tomorrow. As a ground ball to third, throw over is going to skip away, and it'll keep Camden County alive. It's picked up in right field, 2 people converging for it. And that is going to be scored as an E3 and a 2-base error that allows Isabella Boyle to reach base and to get in the scoring position. So here is Collins. Collins 1 for 2, a ground out and a single to this point. Then on Saturday, we'll be back at Camden County College for a doubleheader in baseball between Bergen and Camden. popped up in the infield. Who sees it is the main question. It's Olivo. Well, we just heard from home plate. Line it up. That's the game.
All right.
So we don't even have to go to break, Vince, because it's 7-1 as SUNY-Orange, in a very similar fate to Game 1, sweep the doubleheader and improve to 5-3 on the young campaign. Camden County, in their opening day, drop both games with an 8-1 final in Game 1 and a 7-1 final in Game 2. Not a blowout by any means. Camden County held their own. Just a couple of hiccups and a couple of offensive strings by SUNY-Orange were just the lift that they needed to win this doubleheader. Camden County's next game is going to be on Saturday, March 23rd, in a doubleheader versus Monroe College of the Bronx. SUNY-Orange, their next game will be tomorrow in a doubleheader versus Salem Community College and the Mighty Oaks. And our next broadcast will be Friday, March 22nd, between the Enfield Eagles of Connecticut and the Audubon Green Wave. That's all for us today here at DWB from the Camden County College Complex. It is 7-1 the final in Game 2 here between SUNY-Orange and Camden County College. From everybody here at DWB, my social media coordinator Anthony DePalma, our graphics crew Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, my producer today Vincent Folks in the very cold weather. I'm Dan Wilkins. We will see you on Friday afternoon for Audubon Scrimmage Baseball. Have a good one, folks.